Namaskar. Welcome to the day 2 of AI Agents Workshop brought to you by K.A.M.A.L.A, the Kapitwaj Association of Modern Logic, Automation, Learning and Career Advancement, in collaboration with Hack with India, the biggest hackathon organizer in India, partnered with Microsoft Learn, a certificate issuing authority. A big thank you to all of you, for the amazing response that you blessed us with yesterday during our session. We also had a quiz session, the website of which crashed out because of the overbearing traffic. But again, it is a good thing as well that so many of you are interested in this workshop. But then again, we are very sorry that the website crashed down. There will be no such problem today. A new website has been made. You will be able to do the quizzes and get the certificates ASAP. For the quizzes that were conducted yesterday, the certificates have been rolled out. Please check your emails. You must have received your certificates then. If you have any issues, any problems, anything, please contact our team. We also have a WhatsApp channel wherein all updates, all promotions, everything, every detail about this workshop will be shared over there. Please join that. Link will be shared with you in the chat or in the description. Please follow us on Instagram. Please follow us on LinkedIn. We really appreciate your response, your interest in this workshop. Thank you very much for participating in this. And as always, happy learning. This session will be taken by Mr. Rajat Rajput. This is about prompt engineering, a very important topic in artificial intelligence agents. So yeah, have a good one. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of AI Agents Workshop brought to you by K.A.M.A.L.A. And today we will be exploring what is a prompt and what exactly is the concept of prompt engineering. So let's get started. So the basic unit of human communication, you can say, is maybe a sentence, or if you go into a more grammatical aspect, maybe it's a clause, right? But in a layman's term, the basic unit of any human communication is a word. So words comprise to form of sentences. Sentences then further group together to form of long paragraphs, right? So the basic unit of human communication is the word. Words are the smallest meaningful pieces of language that we use to express our thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Just like the numbers are used in math, words are used in speech, and they are used to write or build messages. When we talk or write, we combine words to form sentences, but it all starts with one individual word, and then we proceed with it word by word or layer by layer. So with words, we don't just make sentences, because we can also ask questions and answers, right? We can also kind of instruct a particular person, or let's just say a particular friend of ours, to do something. So for example, saying what is the capital of India is a question, and saying tell me a joke is an instruction. And these kind of word-based messages are, on a technical level, when you kind of instruct them to LLM or an AI agent, are called prompts, right? But when you do it with a human, it is just called a simple instruction. So like AI systems like large language models and AI agents usually communicate with humans via prompts, and each prompt has its own token limit, right? That just depends on the LLM. Anyway, a prompt is simply the way we tell an AI what we want it to do. LLMs like ChatGPT are trained to understand these prompts and respond in useful, creative, or informative ways. AI agents take this a step further. They use prompts to reason, plan, or even complete tasks for us. So when you type a sentence to an AI, you are really just giving it a smart instruction made of words, a prompt, right? So that is all you need to know about prompts. Basically, if I call my friend and say, hey, can you please do something? That is just an instruction because it is between a human to human. But when I do the same with an LLM or an AI agent or maybe an AI workflow, right, that becomes a prompt. So moving onwards to the concept of prompt engineering. So like we always thought when even I as an AI engineer, I am an AI engineer right now. But when I started learning about AI and ML back in 2022, when ChatGPT was relatively new to the entire world altogether, so a term emerged that was prompt engineering, right? So prompt engineering is not a job role for if any of you are wondering or new to the entire field, and if you say that you want to become a prompt engineer, believe it or not, you are already somehow somewhere practicing the skill of prompt engineering. So rather than a job role, it has emerged as a kind of a necessary skill. Like GitHub is a necessary skill nowadays if you are into computer science and engineering. So same way, prompt engineering has emerged and become a necessary skill. So prompt engineering is the skill of crafting clear and effective prompts to get the best possible results from an AI or language model. Since AI responds kind of based on our instructions or questions we give it, the way we phrase those instructions matter a lot. So for example, if you are talking to a human, the way you will handle that particular human, for example, if he or she or they are crying or maybe they are laughing, right? So there will be a certain way you will kind of convey your message to them, instruct them to do something, or maybe ask them a question. So a well-written prompt provides context, sets the tone, and clearly tells the AI what we expect, whether it's answering a question, writing a story, or performing a task. So rather than you inserting your entire question and writing, tell me about it, you can actually in one particular prompt only tell the LLM or the AI agent about the entire context of that particular question, which subject it belongs to, right? So you will get a more accurate prediction or output, you can say. For example, instead of just saying write something, a prompt engineer might say write a 100-word funny story about a cat who learns to cook. So this sets up a context that you want a 100-word funny story not about just anything but about a cat who learns to cook. So as per the LLM or maybe an AI agent, it will kind of fetch out these tokens and prepare a whole context out of them, but it will limit to a particular kind of a box. You can consider your own imagination as a box, and you can consider LLMs predicting or generating capability as a box, and it will just play around it, which will cater best to your needs. So this gives the AI direction, helps it generate more useful, accurate or creative outputs. And prompt engineering is especially important when using AI in education, content creation, coding or automation. So that was all about prompt and prompt engineering. So how exactly prompts work? Like, and there are a few different type of prompting, let's just say not prompts, but there are a few ways which you can use prompt engineer, the concept of prompt engineering into your daily life, and it will actually help you a lot. So we will just get started with the practical part. You can open any type of LLM of any company, maybe ChatGPT, maybe Gemini, maybe Cloud, maybe DeepSeek or anything. So it doesn't matter. And yeah, let's open an LLM and just start practicing various different type of prompts. भाई यहाँ पे एक कट कर देना. Okay, so let's get started with the first type of prompting. The first type of prompting is zero-shot prompting. Zero-shot prompting means asking an AI to do something without giving it any examples, just a direct instruction, you can say. So it can be like you are kind of giving, let's just say, if you do not know anything about trigonometry, that is a mathematical concept. If you do not know anything about trigonometry and I give you or ask you what is sine, cos, tan, and what exactly is theta, so you may not be able to answer it quickly. Let's just say you will go to Google, learn about trigonometry first or the concept of the related mathematical concepts, and then you will come back and answer. Same way, what when you do zero shot prompting where you don't give any context, rather than saying, kind of, okay, so this is the bug I am facing and this is the entire code for it. So with while you input the code, it is setting up a context. But if you just use the LLM, it is an example of zero shot prompting because you are not setting a context. So for example, if you say translate the sentence into French, I love learning, you are not showing AI any samples of how to translate. You just ask, right? I mean, sure, you are setting up a little context that the English needs to be converted into French, right? Because without it, the prompt will not even work, even in the zero shot technique, right? But you're not giving it any sample or example. Basically, you're not explaining it anything, right? So that is zero shot prompting. This works well because large language models like ChatGPT are trained on huge amounts of data, so they have seen many similar tasks before. Zero shot prompting is simple, fast, and useful when the task is common or the AI already understands what you want. Right. So, assuming if you are working with a small language model where the data, the parameters are not, at that scale where large language models parameters and data set or the database is, right. So it may take some time. It may have to scrape the internet, but eventually it will give you the answer. But the processing time gets a little more, basically. So zero shot prompting is the basic form of prompting, and let's see an example for that. Okay, so when you are at your LLM, I will be using Chat GPT for the same. And if I say, so if I write convert I love learning into French, it will say I love learning in French is the entire phrase, right? But what if now I start giving it examples, right? You can say, okay, so that is in few shot learning. We will cover it, in a minute or two. But let us see more examples of zero shot prompting. So there is an end of file error in Python which I came across as I was developing something last night. So rather than giving the entire code of it, I will just ask what is end of file error in Python, right? So it gave me a bunch of common scenarios. These may or may not be the answers I am looking for, right? So this is the primary kind of a not a disadvantage but a con of the zero shot prompting concept. The AI does not know the entire context and it just tells you the not accurate, or you can say it will just guess ki, okay, so you are facing this problem or maybe this problem or maybe this problem. So same way it has shown me around two common scenarios and told me a basic way on how to handle a EUF error. Right now, if I insert my that particular piece of code which was causing that error, then it may be able to solve the entire problem directly by fixing the entire code. Right. So this is how zero shot prompting works, where without any context or sample or example, the AI or the LLM has to guess and provide the output to you. Moving on to one shot prompting. So the next type of prompting is one shot prompting. One shot prompting is when you ask an AI to perform a task and give it an example as well. Basically, you're kind of setting an entire context to it, right? So in zero shot prompting, we saw that AI just guesses the entire thing itself. It is not having any fixed particular context, and it has zero examples to solve that particular situation. It may have seen it when other users kind of ask their queries and the data eventually got stored in the backend. But with one shot prompting you provide examples. It is just opposite of zero shot prompting. So rather than going deep into the theory, let's just perform it directly on the LLM itself. Okay, so I will continue with the same chat. I don't think I need to clear it. Yeah, I mean it is fine, right? So, for example, I will just do some zero shot prompting to get a few sentences converted into French. Okay, so now here are the two examples which I kind of derived through zero shot prompting, and the on a very kind of a layman level, or let's just say if you are just a user who just wants to get the thing done, it may not make a difference, a huge difference, but on a technical level, it is kind of a different concept in its own right. So now I have provided some examples as well, and our entire context is fixed that English will be converted into French. So now, since I have provided some examples, I will simply write as per these examples, convert in French. Now here you can see that as I just wrote as per these examples, convert I love India in French. Now the type of output, or you can say even on a technical level, the prediction of the LLM which I got is more specific and is more detailed, because now a context is set. Now it has seen a few examples of how to respond to my questions whenever I want something converted into French. So yeah, so that is the entire concept of these two types of prompting: zero shot and one shot. And one shot prompting is also called few shot prompting, right? Because you can also enter a few examples as well. One shot basically means one example, so same thing, just different names. Anyway, on the third type of prompting, I will quickly switch to the presentation so I can tell you the theory as well. Alright, so the third type of prompting, role-based prompting. Role-based prompting is when you ask the AI to respond as if it were playing a specific role, like a teacher, doctor, interviewer, or even a character. So by assigning that particular role, you're kind of telling AI to think in a particular manner, not as a helpful assistant, because every LLM is supposed to be a helpful assistant to any human, right? But when you need things, or your questions solved in a particular manner, you may need to opt for role-based prompting for more accurate result at once, right? So for example, you might say you are a career coach, give me tips for preparing for a job interview. This guides the AI to think and respond like a coach, not just a general assistant. So role-based prompting is powerful when you want more focused, or more specific answers rather than a vague or a general answer. Right. So we will also see an example for that as well. Anyway, so here we are, and I will now simply tell the AI to assume the role of, let's just say, a mechanic, and explain to me about the V8 engine, which is often used in cars, right? So I will first do zero shot prompting by asking it straight and upfront. So it has given me some output. Now what I will do, I will open another chat with no chat history, and I will simply ask, assume the role of a mechanic. That means think that you are a mechanic, and you have to tell me about V8 engine, right? So not so different, but a prompt which basically says that assume that you are a mechanic, and with this particular line, the LLM needs to kind of understand and assume the role of a person who knows cars, specifically the engines, right? So now if I enter this prompt, it will give me let's just say a kind of a more tailored or a friendly kind of a response, and we will compare it as well. So here, as you can see, rather than kind of giving me a summarized or a general overview, that too without kind of, let's just say, the full information or the adequate amount of information, it is now kind of teaching me as if I am a student of his, and it is telling me all about V8 engine in detail. You can pause the video and actually see the difference between both the prompts, right? So this is how role-based prompting works, and all these type of promptings can be efficiently used as well. This is just a general overview. You can also tell that you are a mechanic specializing in this, or you are a doctor specializing in this. So it may give you more expert or tailored response, which you may be expecting from the LLM, right? So that is role-based prompting. Now there are two concepts. One of them is chaining, and the second is memory. These are not, they are not some huge concepts, and they are not types of prompting. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it is the way you communicate with the LLM. It is not the sentence you write or the tokens you give to the LLM. Rather, it is the two different type of ways in which you communicate with LLM. And among this, the memory part will be covered in the next session practically, right? I guess on day 4 it will be covered, and you must know about LangChain, and for that we have day 3 as well. So anyway, moving on to the concept of chaining and memory. The chaining theory. So the chaining theory is the idea of breaking a complex task into simpler ones. Like just say if you have to write an essay, so you will usually start paragraph by paragraph rather than plotting the entire story. Essay in exam, not as a homework, but in an exam where you have to constantly think and keep writing. So you will eventually develop a story step by step, or if there's a meme, right, brick by brick. So for example, instead of saying write a business plan to any LLM, you first kind of chain your prompts together. So on a more technical or a broader aspect, chaining basically means one prompt's output will be other prompt's input, and the other prompt's output will be the another one's input, right? So entire chain becomes. So if you have seen a chain in real life, you would understand that those metallic semicircular oval beads are connected together, and they are built on one by one. So each step builds on the previous one. This makes it easier for the AI to reason, stay organized, and produce better results. For example, instead of saying write a business plan, chaining would look like describe the product, identify the target audience, list key features, estimate the market size. This structured approach is especially helpful for complex reasoning or planning tasks. So we will just exactly see this particular example only in a fresh new chat, right? So let's open our LLM. So I will completely open up a new chat. So I will first set up a context, and I will build upon that context. You are a 21-year-old to start a business. So I entered a prompt which says, so consider you are a 21-year-old trying to start a business in text, right? So without even writing that, set this as a context, and entire context is set up. So once the prompt ends, I will just pick any random piece of information from this particular output and make it an input for the another prompt, and I do not need to necessarily copy paste it. You will see. So let's just say I will pick any point. So it says start building a basic MVP, right? So you say I should start building a basic MVP, but don't you think I should get a team first? So now a context is set in the entire chat that you are basically me. And for LLM, the LLM itself is a 21-year-old kind of a 24-year-old guy who's willing to start a business in tech. So GPT first gave me some output. I didn't copy it. Rather, I just picked up a point and I just wrote another prompt. So you say I should start building a basic MVP, but don't you think I should get a team first? So now we are actually kind of having information not information, but a genuine conversation with the entire LLM, which is in context. So, in no way or the another, the LLM will go out of context. Now, if the LLM is poorly set up or trained, then it may, but usually it will not, because if you have made something and you're calling it LLM, then I guess it is properly built to avoid such cases. Anyway, so this is what exactly chaining is. So, moving on to the concept of memory. So, memory theory in prompting or AI refers to the idea that AI can remember and use previous information during a conversation or across tasks. This memory helps the AI stay consistent, follow context, and give more personalized responses. For example, if you tell the AI your name or a preference or anything, and whenever you kind of chain other prompts along with it, you will get a very specific and a response which will kind of tailored to your needs, right? So, in the entire memory aspect, we will go deep in day 3 and day 4, which are the upcoming days of this AI Agents workshop, and you will be able to understand better how memory works. For now, you have already seen the example of memory when I was changing my prompts, that it was remembering the context as well rather than just making me copy paste it. So it remembered the entire first prompt and the output of that particular prompt. So this is how memory chaining works, and these are two separate ways of prompting, right? And this is something which is do not need to necessarily be aware about if I'm chaining it properly, or if LLM is storing my memory. But if you're kind of heavily relying on LLM, or let's just say AI agents, then you must keep especially memory into the account, because you want to store the entire conversation, or at least summary of that particular conversation, because you don't want an AI agent which forgets everything after an hour or so, or maybe after 5 seconds or so. So that is why memory is needed. So, concluding today's session on prompt and prompt engineering, I will just quickly read what I have prepared, and I will just kind of break it down again as well. So, prompting is the foundation of how we communicate with AI, whether it's asking a simple question, giving a detailed instruction, or guiding the AI through a complex task. Everything begins with how we phrase our words. Through techniques like Zeroshot, Oneshot, role-based, and chain prompting, we can also unlock the full potential of LLMs if we prompt correctly, right? And the better we design our prompts, our responses become more creative, accurate, and more suited or tailored to our needs. As AI continues to evolve, mastering the art of prompting will be kind of an essential skill, not for just developers or researchers, but it is kind of already has become an essential skill, and it is something which you can learn like that. If you're technically apt, you will just learn it like that. So yeah, so this was all about prompt and prompt engineering. Thank you so much for attending today's session. If you have any doubts, you can join our Discord server. Our mentors will be there and they will be happy to assist you. And yeah, see you in day 4. All the best.